of total our performance incentives, one part is given by CSR activities. In this CSR activities, what management did, they added this standard chartered marathon. So company encouraged to participate everyone. When I am participating that first 21 kilometer, actually first I am searching where is the ambulance. I am very like foodie man because whenever I always try to eat very good food. So I want to digest that food. That is the only reason I have started the run. Now after this HDOR, because it's I have to participate in 100 days, at least 2 kilometers. So that make me a habit to run every day. My family is very supportive in all times. Because whenever I go for run, my wife never say no.
Achha.
But rest of everything she asked me something where you are going. Only 2 cases she's never asked when I am going to the office and going for the run. Grateful because I got a very good friends like you. Because especially for the runners group. Because I want to name the ace runners also. Runners also. Even I am not in that group. But they consider me as their member. So I am very grateful to all of you, all my teammates, all my friends.
Hello everyone, this is Vineet and we are right now recording this interview from Leh, Ladakh. In a few days, we'll be running the different challenges of Ladakh Marathon 2023, which is the 10th edition. We have Rajesh with us. Tell us something about yourself.
Hi, I am Rajesh Nair. I am working with Eveready Professional Lighting as a Deputy General Manager. I am looking the professional product development segment based at Mumbai. This is my second trip to Ladakh. Last time I did full marathon, Ladakh Marathon 42 kilometer. This time I will be participating for this Khardungla challenge. It's a very tough challenge.
That we know from the context that it's really a tough challenge and we'll speak about it. Having said that, since you are looking after the product development with Eveready Lighting and I am sure your job would be pretty interesting as well as dealing with multiple stakeholders, figuring things out, how things are going on. Combined with the fact that the travel time in Mumbai is pretty intense for everybody from home to office and back. So how do you integrate your professional life, personal life and social life taken into account, everything? How does it work out for you?
That is the main challenge of Mumbai because Mumbai, everybody is staying in one area and our office is obviously in the opposite side of the city. In my case, it is the same because I have to travel around 50 kilometers from my residence to office. My office is at Fort CST and I am staying at Kharghar. So it's always around 4 to 5 hours for the commuting time. Normally I took every day.
So how did you get into running?
So it's actually a different story when I came to running. It's not a very old story because when I was working with Bajaj, prior to Eveready, I was with Bajaj Electricals. I was looking the product development in Bajaj Electricals. So in that time, Bajaj Electrical was the one of the sponsor of the Standard Chartered Marathon, Mumbai Marathon. And in Bajaj there was one more system is there for incentive, CSR incentive. There is one portion is given by of total our performance incentives, one part is given by CSR activities. In this CSR activities, what management did, they added this Standard Chartered Marathon running as an, there is a required around 36 hours. In an yearly, we have to participate in CSR activity. In this CSR activities, mainly one thing is giving traffic awareness. Second one is go to the orphanage and for any festivals and gives some participate in some activities. And second thing, otherwise we have to go to beaches and clean the beaches. All these are the main things. And because when I am staying in Kharghar at that time also, and all this will happen at the Juhu beach and in the city areas, and mostly it's in holidays. So early morning I have to reach that particular place and do the activities and click the photographs and came back. So after that, then company decided when a person, if they are participating in marathon, they will give 6 hours.
Wow.
For participation. So company encouraged to participate everyone. So prior to that, I never run any 100 meter. So I have decided to participate in Standard Chartered Marathon. Yeah, earlier I thought I will participate in Dream Run, that is around 6 kilometers. So one of my friend, Mr. Prashant Nalavada, he was very good friend for me from now around 20-25 years back. He's a very good friend at that time. Still, he is my good friend. He told me that is a very boring system. You have to participate in half marathon. Half marathon. After hearing this one, I am in shock. 21 kilometers because even I have never run 200 meters.
Okay.
So anyway, I have decided to take a challenge. Just join. So when I have joined, then I started little bit running. So I started around in Central Park. I have started. Central Park around that one round is around 1.5 kilometer inside the circle. So earlier I did one circle, then again I make it 3. Like that I have a little bit increased. So I make it up to 5 to 10 kilometers before participating in this Standard Chartered Marathon.
This was which year?
I think 2016. The last Standard Chartered Marathon was there.
And I still remember in the last Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon was the first time when the full marathon guys were given the sleeveless t-shirts. What was your experience after the first 21 kilometer run?
When I am participating in that first 21 kilometer, actually first I am searching where is the ambulance. So I was always looking where is the my friend tell me you don't worry, there is lot of ambulances are going. If you fall down they will take it. We are here, no problem. So that was my courage.
Achha.
So I started, then it started from I think that the same point only, Mahim, Bandra Worli ceiling started.
Correct.
Then I started running. Then I think it's okay. I can run. There is not an issue. But my co-runner, Prashant, he's saying slow, go slow, go slow. And I think it is very difficult to again going slow and again starting. It's a little bit difficult. Then I thought, let me try. Then I started the first run I have completed within 2 hours 35 minutes.
The first 21 kilometers in 2 hours 35 minutes. Okay.
That was my first marathon.
Okay. So now first marathon in 2 hours 35 minutes. So how did this journey evolve from the first 21 kilometers to right now? I mean, this will also be a crazy piece.
Then I started participating in marathons. But at that time there was not several marathons, only few marathons was there. The second Tata Mumbai marathon, at that time it became Tata Mumbai. The second time I did in 2 hours 15 minutes. From 2:35 to it becomes 2:50. The second time.
Okay.
So gradually then my pace increased.
So how do you train for the marathons? Because as you said that you used to initially do the roundup of the Central Park inner circle, and then you started doing the 10 kilometers. So how does your training program for the marathon looks like?
Frankly speaking, I simply I'm doing little bit exercise and only normal running. I never do any special training for the marathons. I never did. Because my simple funda is that because I'm a very foodie man, because whenever I always try to eat very good food, so I want to digest that food. That is the only reason I have started the run. So you can also see my earlier photographs. If you see me in 2015 photographs and if you can compare with my existing, there is a lot of difference. That is the main inspiration for me for the running.
Okay, so
nothing else.
Make sure that the photograph is looking picture perfect. So how has running impacted your personal, professional life? I mean, how have you integrated it into your lifestyle?
Now it's become a lifestyle for me because even hardly because I was out of the 7 days, even 5 to 6 days I have to run. That is making a practice for me. If I didn't go for a run, I am become lazy, something like that. I feel that I am not doing good. Something like that, a feeling is there. So even if I am in roaming, because when I only miss the running when I will be traveling in the catching early flights, then only I miss the run. Even at that time also, I do the run in the evening. This also helped me when I participated that 100 days of running. That is also a big mind changer.
Okay.
Otherwise, when I get time, I was
running.
I always running. Now after this HDOR, because it's a, I have to participate in 100 days, at least 2 kilometers. So that's make me a habit to run every day.
So signing up for 100 days of running actually got you into the habit, and now you're running. So how has it impacted your professional life, professional journey? How do your colleagues and bosses, interact with you when they know that this guy is going to do a 42 kilometers every alternate Sunday or something of that sort? And obviously their training is pretty intense. How has their outlook changed towards you, or anything which you would love to share with us?
Because after this, when I started running, and normally every people came to know I am going to this running. So everybody, even my company people, all my boss, everyone is encouraged me a lot.
Acha.
That is giving me a very good enthusiasm to me to overcome all this type of things.
And how does your family support in this adventure?
My family is very, very, very supportive in all times. Because whenever I go for run, my wife never say no.
Acha.
But rest of everything, she asked me something, where you are going. Only 2 cases she's never asked, when I am going to the office and going for the run. Otherwise, always she questioned me.
How did Ladakh Marathon happen to you?
Ladakh Marathon is it's a benchmark. Because prior to Ladakh Marathons, I did the Satara, I did Tata Ultra, I did then which one, Sudhagad Marathon, several marathon I did. Even folk run, that Lonavala Monsoon Marathon, several marathon I have participated. But Ladakh is entirely a different stuff. It's main for its beauty of the Ladakh. Then this climate situation is entirely different, and running with that type of a beautiful weather, it's also a different. And apart from that, we are running in a height of 11,500, na?
Correct,
For
yeah.
Ladakh. It's 11,500 feet. It's a different experience.
Yeah, so how did you come to know about Ladakh Marathon, and you signed up for the full marathon in 2022? I mean, I would love to know the backstory of that. And how was your 2022 experience?
This, when my marathon history is changed, when I met this Kharghar road runners. Especially you are one of the part of that.
Sir.
And mainly that your guy, Mr. Pramod Nair, came into this Kharghar road runners group. Prior to that, I was not aware about that group. He introduced with your runners group. And after that, I have started participating all these big marathons. Prior to that, I will participate in only this normal one, only the Tata Mumbai Marathon, and that normal Kharghar Marathon, something stuff like
Anything
that.
closer to the
Anything
home.
closer to the city. Once I joined with this Kharghar group, I have started to go to the out of the city, and then I started running. Otherwise, it's only a Kharghar runner.
That's true. And last year you completed the 42 kilometers in 2022 Ladakh Marathon in 4 hours 40 minutes, right?
4 hours 35 minutes.
4 hours 35 minutes, my mistake. That is an awesome timing even as per Mumbai standards. How did you achieve this feat?
Nothing different.
Okay.
I run as my normal run. Nothing is changed. Because only there is a little bit pace was the difference. Only the another dryness of the lips. That was the main problem, because we are not able to take breath properly. That is the only difference.
So now you did full marathon last year, and this year you became eligible for the 72 kilometers Khardungla challenge.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration to sign up for the 72 kilometers Khardungla challenge?
The same inspiration, because when I was registered for this Ladakh Marathon, that was my first 42 kilometer officially. So this is the same case. When I am registering for this 72 kilometers and participating for this 72 kilometers, prior to that I did maximum 50 kilometers. That is my best as of now.
So this is the first 72 kilometers,
So,
and
I want to break my records in Ladakh.
great. I mean, all the best to your run in the next few days. Rajesh, now considering the fact that you signed up for marathon to make sure that the CSR checklist is ticked off on the company list, and then it became sort of your lifestyle activity. We also know that every year on 31st of December, a lot of people decide that from 1st of January I'll sign up for gym, or I'll take up some fitness activity or something of that sort. And it is a global phenomenon that within 2 weeks most of them fizzle out. So what is your advice to anybody who is contemplating to take up any fitness activity?
Only one thing is that whenever you want to start something, you should be consistent in that. That is the only thing, that is the only way you can win. Otherwise, for a sake for, don't start anything.
Correct.
Or one more thing is, in the case of running, even don't compare with anyone.
Correct.
Because everybody's body is different, every situation is different. Don't compare with anyone. Okay. If you can compare with yourself, that is always best. You can compare with your pace with your this time pace. That will be better.
Correct. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So getting inspired by the group, making sure that you're making fitness as a lifestyle. Any last thoughts before we close down this interview?
Because only I got a very grateful, because I got a very good friends like you, because especially for the runners group, because I want to name the ace runners also. Runners also. Even I am not in that group, but they consider me as their member. So I am very grateful to all of you, all my teammates, all my friends.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh, for sharing this interview very candidly, and all the best for your Khardungla Challenge 2020.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
There will be a medical checkup for all the participants. Everyone carrying headlamps? Yes. Okay.
Overview of mountain sickness and what you should expect. I am open to any questions that you would like to ask.